Pat Jackson is someone I know for many years now. And we have sort of a love-hate relationship, but more of love relationship. And because she's bent upon I need to do it her way, and I'm bent upon I need to do it my way. But sometimes you adore people silently, and you gain knowledge and energy from them. She's one person that I've done it. And though we sometimes stop talking just like children do, but we get back as adults again. So thank you so much for being here. Pat has come all the way from South Fulton, from Cascade Road. So thank you for being here, Pat. Yes, you can sit here. And Pat has she believes in what she says. And that's what I've known. And after even 7 years, I've only seen her very passionate about what she does with the cause. So thank you for being here. Next, we have Prashant Kolipara. Thank you so much for being here, Prashant. I know you're always running. I was reading through the profiles of all the panelists today, and as I was reading yours, I was thinking, wow, from electrical engineering, is that right? Electrical engineering to getting interested into electrical stuff. You got interested into the video and audio part, and since then you quit your IT job because you moved to IT, and then from IT he is into the AV, LED and lighting and audio, visual, everything across. Someone whom I've seen has just jumped the leap of faith, I believe so. You're Thank you, Ramji. Go ahead, Prashant, you can sit down. And thank you for being here. Next, I want to introduce Kathy. Kathy Murphy is someone I've known for a few years. And believe me, the panelists and our champions are not like celebrities. Of course, they're celebrities, but not like you would know them on a large scale. But I want to appreciate the small things that we do in everyday life and the people who are doing it, making a tremendous change. Kathy is very much into the mental health issues across our communities. She has she leads or co-leads what is called the North Fulton Mental Health Alliance, right? I got it sort of right. But anyway, from the North Fulton, she leads the mental health issues and also is the outreach director and communication director for Summit Counseling, which is a large counseling center for patients or for anyone who's interested in getting mental wellness. So thank you so much for being here, Kathy. Next, we have someone I really adore, Lieutenant Benjamin Finley. Lieutenant, why don't you come on in? I know we are in safe hands tonight. He is the Lieutenant Sheriff for Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. He used to... You can sit here. He used to be with Johns Creek Police Department, and that's how I know him. And what I've noted from Sheriff Finley is that he is it becomes personal for him. Anything that happens to any woman or man's life that is disturbing, it really becomes personal for him, and he goes out of the way to make it happen. So did I get anything? Did I get everything right? Yeah? Okay, awesome. So thank you again. And I'm just, hold on, give me 1 minute. I had my papers here. I want to make sure. If you give me 1 second, yes. Thank you, Auntie. We have Dr. Gulshan Harji as our last panelist and a champion. I'm sure if you've been in the Atlanta area, you know her pretty well. Dr. Harji is known for her courage, for challenging the challenges straight on. She does that. She's a practitioner, and a general practitioner, works out of Decatur, and has gone through a lot in life. If you just look up Gulshan Harji, you'll see, but she didn't allow those challenges to stop her. What she did was challenge the challenger and the challenges and showed them that we can succeed in life by helping others. She also leads the Clarkston Health Center, which serves many refugees and immigrants who are coming firsthand, trying to understand the US without, sometimes without even insurance. So the first question I would like, and if you can keep your answers brief, right? The first question I would like to ask is for Pat Jackson. And what does believing in yourself mean? Does it have a selfish stance to it? So what does believing in oneself mean? And when I tell people to believe in yourself, does that become selfish?
Believing in yourself. That means just knowing that you can do whatever you set your mind to do. I've been very fortunate in life in that early on I received unconditional love, and I became very aware of the suffering of people. I also realized that I can do something to help alleviate that suffering. I put all of my energy and focus into loving others unconditionally and beginning to appreciate the beauty and what's special in every person from every culture. We have so much going on in this world today as it has been in the past. My position is the only thing that can really bring us all together and bring about a change in this world is if we all begin to believe in ourselves and appreciate ourselves and others. Nazira spoke briefly in introducing me about the fact that we work together and that we've had many challenges. We have. Because I think I'm one of the few person who pulls her to the curb as a sister should do. But I think the one thing that we both realized is that if you put aside egos, combine your talents, and truly show unconditional love for others, we can make a difference and we can bring about change.
How important is dreaming? So does that mean just daydream and leave? Or how important is dreaming for yourself and for your family to achieve the goals? Go ahead.
Thanks, Nazira. Dreaming, I mean, without you dreaming, actually, you cannot even do anything. You need to dream for anything. Sometimes you might reach to that goal or you might not, but at least you should have a dream. In my life, I think probably that is one thing which has brought me to this level. I might go to the next level, but I'm not sure whether I can really get into the position where I have dreamt. Dreams are very important for every person, and without that, I don't think anyone can reach to any level.
So how important is taking actions after dreaming? We all can dream.
You need to work towards that, I mean, I'm totally in a different field before I got into this, what I'm doing right now. I'm into IT field, into the management side in IBM and from PwC background. I don't need to actually put the effort what I'm putting right now to just lead my life. But because of the dream, I have to put a lot more hard work, not just making my dream to be true, but also making other people's dream to be true. And I think at the end of the day, without putting hard work, without looking back yourself like, what you're capable of, I don't think that, you can really reach to that level where you have dreamt. And hard work, many people come to me and say, hey, Prashant, you had luck. You're very successful because your luck is there with you. I'll say, I don't have that luck word in my dictionary. It's all hard work. Anyone anyone can do anything. Everything is possible for everyone. That's what I feel. If anyone wants to go in a rocket to a moon, yes. If they dream about, if they put hard work towards that, they can do it. I can do it. You can do it. So I think probably working towards that dream, working towards that goal, and putting that hard work is very important, and consistently, persistently. Thank you.
Very well said. And so you brought the word luck, and you have to know I stand in the same boat as you, Prashant, with the word luck. I'm not as lucky. But guess what I did? I didn't stop there. I named my daughter Luck. The one who introduced me, her name is Rasi, and it means luck in Tamil. So I didn't stop. So you can see I am taking steps to alleviate some obstacles, right? So thank you, Prashant. We wish you all the best every time. Kathy, the question for you is, was there a time when you had given up? What gives you the energy to keep going?
Oh, that's a great question. Sure. I don't know that there was a time that I actually gave up, but I think that there's definitely been times in my life where I've had challenges, and I think that if we look inside us, I believe that God gave us each individual talents, but He also gave us those certain things that spark our hearts. So as long as we can merge those two together and use that to believe in a cause, whether it's a vocation or an avocation, that we're able to follow our dreams. Sure.
Has fear ever stopped you?
No. What that is, that saying, never let them see you sweat. You know, you may be scared on the inside, and I think there's times where your mind can play tricks on you, but I think that you just have to fight through that.
One more final question for you, Kathy. I have her here, so why not, right? Get all the answers out of her. Has there been a situation where patients or any people who've come to your office with mental health issues has given you the inspiration to get up next morning and say, I need to change their life? And one more, Kiran, if we can have the door closed to the side, I think we just want to keep the air low here. Thank you. Go ahead, Kathy.
Absolutely. Probably every day. I am not a therapist, but I get to work in an organization. We have over 30 therapists on staff, and we have 6 play therapists that work with kids from the age of 3 through 12. And both children and adults, to see people walk into the office and you can see that they're broken. You can see that they're really struggling, but to then watch them as they go through therapy and their treatment, and to just watch them come out and to walk taller and believe in themselves. And I think that that's the most important thing in therapy, is for people to be able to find that way to have hope and to believe in themselves.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much, Kathy. Sheriff or Lieutenant, how important is it for you to be surrounded by people who say, go for it, go for it?
Well, I'm usually surrounded by a lot of people saying a lot of things. That may not be one of them. But it's very important that you surround yourself with a team of people and a group of people that believe in the same cause and mission that you're trying to achieve. There are always going to be naysayers in this world, and we know those. There's always the person with the half glass empty kind of person. And no matter what your job is, I think the biggest part of that is the attitude in which you approach it. All right, and a lot of that has to come from within. You have to have that to begin with to be able to achieve some of the things that you want to do. So. You got another one for me?
Yes. You guys are so brief and succinct. I've usually not had panelists like this. So the other question I want to ask is, do you ever stop smiling?
I do on occasion. Hey, listen, there's a lot of things to smile about each and every day, and everyone spoke about things before about luck. I think a lot of that, I look at luck like we talked about earlier. You're lucky if you get through traffic in the morning, you don't get stuck behind a bad crash. Most of the things that you have happen in your life is because of the things that you set forth in life. And that is the dreams, the missions, and all of that stuff that you set forth. And you don't need to dream so big sometimes. It's the small incremental things that you do to achieve what you're doing. And I've done things that I had no idea that I would even be doing. I mean, I wanted to go this way, and then next thing I know, the good Lord had me over here. And I was like, how did I get here? But man, I'm glad I'm not over there now. So I'll digress into other things too. So you got another question?
A comment rather. So Captain Finley or Lieutenant Finley, in my very lowest time of my life, I felt like he was one of the rescuers, one of the angels sent from above. So always believing means that you might have the angel right in front of you, you might just not recognize. So when you allow it and believe in yourself that people are coming to help you, allow it to happen. It'll take you to places where you really want to go. So I will never forget you, Lieutenant Finley, and we congratulate you for your new position at the Forsyth County Sheriff's Office. We miss you at Johns Creek. So you're right next door, that's true. And one more question before we go to Dr. Hergy. How important is it for parents and adults here in this room to understand the ill effects of cybercrime or fraud? And if you can just very briefly tell how you attacked one of those and were able to solve that.
Again, I never had any idea that I would end up doing anything with cybercrime or chasing people on the internet. But now that is my job. Not only have I done that, but I've helped write and pass 2 laws for the state of Georgia. I got invited up to Congress. Never thought I'd be sitting in Congress and sit up there and testify for a House subcommittee. But amazing thing. I don't like to give up. I like challenges. So when people are taunting me on the internet and says that I am unarrestable, I am unextraditable, I said, okay. So just because you're in another country, you think I can't come get you. And he found out after a year-long investigation, I did come get him. And we arrested him and put him in jail because he was terrorizing families not only here but all over the United States. That's the great thing about my job is I get to help people a lot of times, either at the lowest point of their life, they get to see me. Now, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. But I try to do my best because like my grandmother used to teach me, you do for them what you would want them to do for you, okay? And it's not that hard to just be nice. Do y'all agree? It's so much easier just to be nice. Now, we can all be mean if we need to be, but it's just a whole lot easier to just be nice. So, yes, I do smile a lot, but sometimes things make me not smile. But.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you so much, Lieutenant. It looks like one of your messages is for parents to be careful as adults and for children about cybercrime that is not noticeable much. We'll do another, that's another just chat session. That'll be great. So, Dr. Hergy, thank you for being here. It was so nice to see you last evening as well. But if you always let others think for you, you'll never become who you want to be, true or not?
Well, that's a loaded question. I would not make a good presidential candidate. But I think it's important that people think for you. I think it's important to have mentors. I know you may have your own idea, but it's important to be consulting. It's important to listen out to what other people are saying or doing or thinking because it allows you to clear your path. You obviously don't want to get into an area where you know that it's not going to be any good for you. So for me, as far as my history and my response would be that I was always surrounded by very strong people who dreamt for me and who also helped me think and find my way in this world, who had suffered as my grandparents. Both my grandmothers were widowed very early. And watching them and seeing them go through their struggles, and they allowed me to watch them and their work ethic, and they all often thought for me and guided me. So I think it's important to have people around you that will guide you and mentor you, and that's what brings the best out of us.
Very nice. Thank you. My other question for you is, how hard is it to change people's thoughts and behaviors? It could be health related, it could be any social issues related.
So that's the flip side of the question you asked me earlier. I think it's very hard, but if you in your mind, I am the one, and again, I'm a bad presidential candidate because I like to go with data, I like to go with science, and I like to be able to justify what it is that I'm trying to convey. So if I have data, and I speak 6 languages, so that allows me to communicate with people right at the core, because I would be able to speak to them in their language. So that's important when I'm at Clarkston Community Health Center. Well, in Clarkston, there are 60 languages spoken. I only speak 6, so I'm 54 behind. But it allows me to speak to people in their own language. I've lived in 6 different countries. I've lived among the people. So I know how they behave, why they behave in a certain way, and to be able to experience that at a very young age, and to be able to experience the culture and the ethnicity and the faith of the people that I lived amongst, it is a little bit easier for me to convince them as to why something that they are doing is wrong, because I have science to back up my decision or my thought or my idea. But all the good answers were already given, so there was not much for me left to say here.
You did give out a lot of, just for you to be here. It's an inspiring experience for us as well, with the main thought that you challenge the challenges. So that's who many people see you as and get inspired to continue with their lives. So thank you so much to all of you. If the audience has any questions for the panelists, and before that, Pat Jackson, as I know her, has always needs to make a comment.
Yes, Pat Jackson always has something to say. I'm looking out over this audience today, and what I'm not seeing is diversity. And I think that it is imperative that all of us look to people who are not like us and begin to understand those people, because it is the power of a united, loving people that will bring about change in this world. And I made a decision that everywhere I go, I'm going to take this message. I think that Nazira and I did a great job at Fulton County. The reason that we did is because we are so different. We both are out of the box. We're from different cultures, but we respected one another. I am very fortunate that I've been able to travel quite a bit the last 2 years. Spent a lot of time in the Middle East. And what I have learned over the years is that we all are the same. Unconditional love is what we need. If we combine our talents, put aside our ego, give each other unconditional love and respect, we can change things. We can sit down, we can talk about it all we want, but it's going to take actions on each of our part. And I wanted to come tonight because Nazira said the magic word, believe. Do you believe that you can bring about change? The next thing, are you willing to put forth an effort? The next thing is, can you put aside your egos and your misunderstanding of other people and show the unconditional love that I received as a child, which motivated me to believe that I can bring about a change. And I have not stopped from a young child until now. I believe I continue as a 66-year-old woman to believe that I will bring about a change. Now, this is what I love about Nazira. I've always supported her. I have a lot of respect for her and her energy. So I'm asking all of you today to put aside your prejudices. put aside your fears, and let's bring about the kind of change that is really going to impact not only us today, but generations to come.
That's Pat as I know her. So thank you. Thank you, Pat, and for this wonderful message that you carry everywhere, not just in US, but also across the world where you're traveling. Thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for believing in many more young generation. And thank you to all of you for believing in yourself, because when you're believing in yourself and you're able to help yourself, you're helping and believing others do the same. So thank you so much, panelists, for being here. We are almost done with the panel session. So this is a snippet of Chai and Just Chat session. This goes for 2 hours completely. We have more panelists on the stage during the normal panel session. This is our 2nd year anniversary, so this is the 24th session. So you can see some of the topics that we've discussed. We do tell jokes. We are smiling. You can see some of the 2 years run of the slide shows over there. You'll see many familiar faces. Sometimes they're thought-provoking on crime prevention. How do you improve connections between parents and kids, between teachers, education, what works, what doesn't work, etc. So please join us for any of the Chai and Just Chat session, which is of no cost to anyone. And also, we serve chai. How can you have a chai and just chat without chai? So we make sure we do have chai every time along with refreshments. So let's thank the panelists again for being here.